Welcome. We just finished day 5 of our 12-day program on infinite abundance. And today's clearing was so powerful and so profound that I just had to share it with all of you. So I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. It's all about balancing our masculine and feminine energies and the importance that plays in our manifestation process. Hope you enjoy it. So, an important aspect of this manifesting is to have this really good balance between our masculine and feminine energies. So, that masculine energy gets stuff done, creates structures, it's all about the mind. And the mind actually lives in every cell in your body. And then the feminine energy is that magnetic energy, lives in the heart, but it brings things to us. So, that's where the effortlessness comes in. And when we're magnetizing the things we need, the information, the people, the clients, the rich resources, it starts to come to us without any effort. It just like shows up. Or there's a person and have exactly what I need. So those kinds of things start to happen more spontaneously. So we're going to measure these two. We're going to measure the masculine energy, that outward doing energy, getting stuff done, is at 95%. Okay, good. So we'll find that last 5%. And then the feminine energy is at 50%. So once we activate more of our feminine energy, the other thing that also gets activated is our ability to just know. Like that's tapping into our heart energy, our intuition, that infinite intelligence that's in our hearts. So we're going to find out where the rest of this masculine energy is hiding. It's in our root chakra, out to the second layer. So there's some fear around this. So the fear could be as it relates to male energy. Male people will confuse the two, this masculine energy with male man energy. So often what they think of as masculine energy is men behaving badly. And if you've had some programming in your life, especially when you were young, of maybe your father was abusive or neglectful or, not a good role model, or we've seen a lot of men in our life that have been misbehaving, that we don't want to be like a man. And so we avoid that energy, we push it away. But when we remember that this masculine energy is an energy that everyone has, and it needs to be at 100%, because then we can really tap into that energy that gets stuff done. So it really drives that solar plexus. It's that doing energy. So we all have things to do and we need to get them done. So let's clear this in that root, that fear. And so just talking about this has brought that masculine energy up to 100. So now we have access to 100% of this masculine energy. The feminine, so talking about that has brought it up to 90%. That last little bit is, first we're going to go to the sixth chakra. So the other thing about the feminine energy is that a lot of us will push the feminine energy away because we think that it's a weak energy. We see a lot of women that are taken advantage of. And yes, men have more muscle, so they have more physical strength, but that doesn't make them stronger. But often women acquiesce for fear of being harmed, or if men are abusive, then that, then the woman becomes the weaker vessel. However, the feminine energy, as we have seen when we tap into this infinite intelligence, is incredibly powerful. It's a very powerful energy. So we're going to go to that sixth chakra, out to the second layer, where there's that fear, where we don't want to be weak. So this is a belief that's actually not true. So we're going to clear this belief that women, the feminine energy is a weak energy. And also for the men, sometimes men think, oh, if I have too much feminine energy, I'll turn gay. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, but maybe that's not their inclination, or they have phobias around that, or whatever, or that they don't want to become more feminine. So that's, of course, not what it means. It has to do with this magnetic, intuitive energy, the energy of the heart. Okay, good. 7, 6, 5. Then we're going to go to the heart and out to that third layer, and any judgments we have about the feminine energy, and also about females, and so now there's a lot of confusion around gender. So there's a lot of energies that can become very confusing around this whole issue. Mm-hmm. And then at the root chakra, out to that third layer, where there's fears around stepping into our feminine energy. And also the final part of this, some of these fears, is that, women have been persecuted and taken advantage of for eons, made sex slaves and etc. And so sometimes women don't want to be in the fullness of their feminine energy because of that fear of now they're going to be noticed, and they don't want that attention. So again, that is not the same as the feminine energy that we're talking about. And there's still a level of, when we're in the fullness of our intuition, that infinite intelligence, that those are some other fears, the fears of, tall poppy syndrome, that maybe bumping up against those past lives where we were a powerful woman. Okay, so now the feminine is now at 100%. So now we have access to 100% of our masculine and feminine energies. And it's like these two begin to coalesce in a relationship where they start to dance together, and they start to work together. That's the word I'm looking for. They start to become harmonious. And this is like the marriage between the two. I have not done this before, but Spirit is calling me to do this. So we're going to look at this marriage between the masculine and feminine energies. And let's create a we space for these two, where this is the relationship between our masculine and feminine energies. So let's see if they're grounded. Let's see how well they're working together. So they're grounded. They have good earth energy. There's no worry circle, but the heart is not grounded. Okay, so they're not quite working together at that heart level. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So at the root, out to that third layer. So they don't quite have the power yet. So let's clear this energy at the root so they can both step in their power, into their power together. I like this. So this is new. I've never done this before, but this is me listening to what Spirit is guiding. I benefit as well. Okay, great. So the heart is now grounded. Great. And then has an infinite number of rings, this union. And so we're going to bring Pure Source down through these creative rings into the crown. So right at the crown, that's the sovereignty for this union. Out to the third layer. So it doesn't quite feel like it's, maybe this is like the marriage part where they become sovereign together. Let's amplify the permission circle of this avatar and make it brighter and brighter, so there's no interference with the sovereignty. that you can merge these two together so that they work harmoniously together. It's that giving and receiving energy, masculine, feminine energy. Okay, good. So as pure source is coming down through the crown, okay, there's still some interference there. Okay, that's some control beings. Let's use a black flame at the top of this avatar. 7, 6. Okay, good. So now it's coming down through the crown, 6. So at the 6th chakra, we're going to clear some of the beliefs around how these two should work together. All the way to the 25th layer. So maybe, so that's where fears live. So maybe some of these fears that tend to surface in a relationship about how the masculine and feminine work together harmoniously are kind of showing up here in the heart. Let's see, 7, 6, 5, 4. Yeah, we're in the heart out to that 25th layer. So we're clearing some fear out of the heart of this avatar of how this masculine and feminine can work together to bring this passion that we have forward that merges from the heart or emerges. With the merging of the masculine and feminine. Okay, so it's like in the heart, that's where they merge together. In the crown is where they get their sovereignty, the permission to be together. And in the heart is where they merge and work together harmoniously. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's bring this 50-50 up the front. 1, 2. So right in that 2nd chakra, out to the 3rd layer, there's some anger. Okay, there's maybe some anger about how your masculine and feminine energy, which gets reflected in our outer world and relationships. But really, the new paradigm is all about going inward and creating the shifts inward so that our outer world can reflect that. So here in the 2nd chakra, that we're going to let go of this anger, just drop it down the grounding cord of this avatar. There is some interference, so use a black flame as well so that there's no anger. Like maybe our masculine energy just wants to take over and it's just, dragging our feminine through the dirt and we're always exhausted. And so we want these two to take work in harmony. And our feminine doesn't want to be resentful of our masculine that's just taking over and not listening to the intuition that the feminine has. She might be saying, oh, that's not the best idea. I'm sensing that's not the best idea. But if the masculine is not listening, then... Okay, so you kind of get the idea of how these are going to work together. Okay, good. So up through the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, right at the heart, clearing the judgments, past judgments of how maybe you haven't been listening to these two parts of you. They've been at a war with each other. And so we're putting down the swords and maybe have a cup of tea or a glass of wine together and have a good chat with each other. You're going to start working together and not be fighting with yourself. Okay, yes. And some forgiveness. That's right. Let's bring in forgiveness here. Let's do that Ho'oponopono prayer where you might just apologize to each other for how maybe you've been neglecting each other and haven't been listening to each other. And that you vow in this new relationship, this marriage that we're creating here. You didn't know you were going to get married today, did you? I didn't either. And that they're bringing in some forgiveness and really feeling that apology. thanking each other, and then bringing in that love energy. Just got the words, "You are now married." That's nice. Okay, great. So let's bring this 50-50 up through the heart, throat, 6 crown rings, through all the layers of the aura. That looks nice and clear. Great. And then that circle of reciprocity out that right arm so you can give and receive. Excellent. Through the heart, throat, 6 crown rings. Oh, that was very sweet. Okay, good. Well, great. I love that. Did anybody notice anything that was different in that? I really like that. That was actually felt good.
I felt my brain just coming together. It was a really nice feeling.
Well, that's really an interesting revelation because, you know, we have two sides of our brain. And so our, but they cross over. So our right brain is actually to the feminine side, and our left brain is actually crosses over to the masculine side. So when those two are working together harmoniously, like the two sides of our body, like the two sides of this masculine and feminine, we're going to think more clearly too. So that was a great revelation. Thank you.
I was falling asleep until you started waking up the masculine side.
You started saying, all right, let's get some stuff done here.
Like heaviness lifted up from my body, and just that like resistance that kind of is always inside of me, like kind of is slowing down and coming into a zero base.
Great. So like the put down the swords, there's no more fighting anymore. It's like, oh, we can work together. We don't have to fight against each other all the time. That's great.
I really like this joining the masculine and the feminine together. It's the first time you've done it, and
I know.
I was like, hallelujah. You know, it's like it's so necessary.
Yes, it was a brilliant idea. So thank you, spirits.
Yeah, so thank you.
Oh, I have done a figure 8 before between the masculine and feminine, but something about marrying them just felt very much deeper and more profound.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, that was this was a very pleasant surprise today. All right.
I also felt very, very strong love right before you said the marriage is done.
Nice. Yeah, so you're already feeling the marriage happening. Great. That's great feedback too. I love this.
I had a sensation of a lift, that being in a lift, suddenly fell a couple of floors.
Oh, wow, nice.
It's just different.
Yeah. So body sensations are real and happening.
I have had for many years, and I've been aware of a tightness, a holding on in my left thigh. And with this process, I really feel a flow through there, and an even flow through both right and left now that I don't think I remember experiencing.
Nice.
So fully. Yeah, that's wonderful.
That's great. And that's even though we've been running energy through the legs. So this kind of took it to a whole nother level. Yeah.
It did, yes.
Yeah, great. Wow, this is really great feedback.
I felt myself like yawning in a way, so I was releasing energy.
Yeah.
And then my eyes were just like tearing a bit. I wasn't crying, but it was just tearing. So I was obviously clearing something, as you were saying, taking us through the motion. Yeah, very beautiful. I love that as well. So much of conflict as women, you know, we want to be strong, and then yet we want to be attractive and feminine, and I have that struggle a lot all my life. Yeah, so this is very beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great share. Yeah, thank you. You know, sometimes we can have emotions, like sometimes tears will come out, and it feels like crying, but not like we're not sad, but the tears are coming out. all of your comments really represent just how profound this work is that's been given to me, and I'm just the vessel. I'm just here, bringing it all forward. So yeah, I loved it as well. There was some really sweet parts to it that really resonated with me. So great.
If the idea that you now marry your left and right brain, whether that allows for a more clarity when you come together with a partner.
I'm sure it would. I mean, you could see how much energies got released. And so when we're in relationship, that's the outward expression of our inner masculine and feminine coming together. So I would definitely say that. And of course, the brain, left and right brain, can be measured, as well as that center membrane, the corpus callosum, which helps the two talk together.
Thanks.
Actually, I think that the next round, which will be in the fall, is going to be more related to our physiology. Yeah, I think most of us, I know I did as well, grew up in a relationship that did not work. Yeah, we all got, but we all agreed to that. We all agreed to have that lesson in this lifetime. So anyway, go off and have a great honeymoon today and enjoy this new union. And we'll meet you back here tomorrow. All right, sending myself. Namaste.